Welcome back to our Principle of Accounts class. In the last class, we looked at a video on preparing the purchase journal. Now we are continuing with that by preparing the purchase ledger. Now we have discussed that a purchase ledger is basically each person's personal account, whether they are receiving or giving out goods or some form of money. So before we prepare the purchase ledger, we need to place our heading. We need to know whose purchase ledger we are preparing, and we are preparing the purchase for D. Latchman for the month ending of 30th of September 2020. So then we draw up a formula purchase ledger, or basically the T account. Let's read the first transaction. The 2nd of September, purchase from R. Simon, $670. So in the T account there, we place at the top whose T account that is. This is R. Simon T account. And note that we place a T account for each person we do a transaction with. And have a credit and debit side. And we ask ourselves the question, is R. Simon losing or gaining goods when we are purchasing from him on credit? He's not gaining cash, but he's giving us goods and we are receiving the goods. So R. Simon is losing goods, so we have to record it on the credit side because he's giving out goods without getting any cash in return. So we place the relevant information, the date, the 2nd of September, the detail, which is purchase, and the amount of money that he gave us on credit, which is $670. Then we have the next transaction, which is the 8th of September, purchase from J. Zorel, $1,380. We have to drop a T account for J. Zorel. We do our credit and debit side. And we ask ourselves the question again. We are purchasing on credit from J. Zorel. Is J. Zorel losing or gaining anything? And the answer is that he's losing goods. He's giving us goods worth $1,380. And since he's losing goods from his business, we have to record it on the credit side. Then there's a 19th of September, purchase from C. Brown, $120. We ask ourselves the question again. We are purchasing from C. Brown. Is C. Brown losing goods or is he gaining goods? And he's losing goods because he's giving us goods. We are purchasing the goods from him on credit and he's giving us that goods. And we record it on the credit side. Lastly, 30th of September, purchase from K. Gabriel, $510. We ask ourselves the question again. Is K. Gabriel losing or gaining goods? And he's losing goods. And we record it on the credit side. Now that we have finished the purchase ledger, we have to do the general ledger. Now the general ledger now is our account, the business's account. So we create our debit and credit side. We add up all of the amount within the purchase ledger, which is $2,680. And we ask ourselves, are we losing or gaining here? Remember, we are purchasing goods on credit and we are not paying money, but we are receiving something. We're receiving goods on credit. And once we are receiving it on credit or we're receiving anything, we have to record it on the debit side of our account. So we record it on the debit side, the total amount of purchase credit that we receive on the debit side of our general ledger or our account. Now this has bring us to the end of today's lesson. Now before we close off, I want to show you how it looks, how the entire account looks together with all the account, with the journal, the ledger, and the general ledger. So here's how it should look when you have a question to do. With CSEC give you a question to do, you have to do the journal first, then you do the purchase ledger, and then the general ledger. Remember, CSEC they mark for your headings and do your work neatly so they could understand it. Now this has bring us to the end of today's lesson. Stay safe, do your own research, do your own practice, and I will see you in the next class.